Hello and welcome back to MDG Media's coverage of the European Disc Golf Championships 2025. We got round one, back nine FPO feature card for you. Andrew Gum.
Forget Brennan. What's up, guys? We got an awesome back nine coming to you. Kristin shooting real hot. Some of these players shooting real hot. The course is beautiful. The weather is beautiful. Let's watch some golf, man.
Yeah, and we didn't mention it in the front nine, but we're in a pretty cool place here. Nice little backdrop.
Yeah, man. We got some rain coming down behind us right now. We're a little bit covered, but it's cool.
This is an MDG first, outdoor commentary on the Norwegian fjords. Couldn't be happier than to be here with you, my man. Had a ton of fun on the front nine. You're a natural. You know, great to have you in the booth. You're just flowing like a champ.
Thank you. Let's go.
So cool to see it, feel it with you. Relive it too. We were out there. You were doing camera work.
Yeah, I was out there. There's some of my shots that you're about to see out there. He was walking, you know, doing on-course commentary as well. And it's really fun to get to see it all put together like this cinematically. The MDG guys do a great job.
Well said, my friend. Hole 10, par 3, 87 meters. Got to make a little move from left to right. And it's quite uphill.
Definitely more uphill than you think from this coverage. It requires a good bit of power to get back there. The FPO basket is that first one there, obviously. And yeah, you're gonna need something kind of turning over a bit that just flattens out. Maybe a little bit of a force over on something stable that kind of flattens out and cruises to the basket.
Yeah, blind off the tee. So you have to really kind of practice this hole to get a good feel of where you want to be. Otherwise, you're just looking into this like hill slope and Kristin, whoa, look at this.
Pretty amazing.
Tracking for the ace.
Oh my gosh. I had no idea how close that was today.
Yeah, that zinged right past the basket, just like,
wow.
Just a little right. Now she's going to have a bit of a comebacker, though. That's circle's edge. As we see Keiti a little bit high, testing the ceiling, catches a branch, comes down about 15 meters from the basket. Opportunity for a big highlight putt. She wants it. Henna, way early release. Good kick, though.
Amazing kick. Being in the middle of this fairway is a gift after a shot like that.
Yeah, and Henna at -1. We didn't really mention it, but it looked like she was kind of struggling, but she still scored really well. You know, had a rough start, bounced back.
Anniken, I thought that was a little early, but that found its way the whole way through.
That was great. It just caught those late, skinny birches that guard the basket really well. And she's still there putting, though. She'll have a really pretty good chance. Pretty open look.
Up and down, maybe. That looks pretty good. Great shot.
Yep. Lands nice and soft. Right under the bucket. Good up and down there. Par secured.
Does she give this a bid?
I'm thinking she will. She does have really good range, yeah.
Yeah, not too much danger right there behind the basket. If you blasted it too hard, then that wouldn't be smart, but I think that was a smart bid there.
Come back after the ace run. Boom.
Wow. Let's go, Kristin. Showing what a world champion looks like, that's for sure.
Yep. She's won it all. 6 down through 10.
Great score out here on this course.
Yep.
Anniken a bit high off the band.
Good bid, square on the band. Rather be high than low, I suppose, but I'd sure like to have that birdie after a really good drive like that. Averaging 3.33. So, I think that's, like I mentioned in the front, there's quite a few lower rated players in the field, representing these countries that don't typically get into the higher level events. So the average is maybe a little bit higher than you might expect from a top field.
Yeah, there's going to be some really high scores as well as some really low scores.
Yeah. Hole 11's a par 5, 199 meters. Very beautiful. Quite uphill as well that you don't quite see.
Yeah, the big arms of the ladies are going to hopefully be able to get up to that top shelf there that we just flew over on the left to hopefully give them an up shot.
Yeah.
Another one up to the pin.
Yeah, there's OB left and right off the tee here. And you want to try to climb that hill as much as you can, but if you don't, it's a par 5, so you can get your second shot up on the shelf and still having a chance to get up and down for birdie. So it's not the hardest par 5. It averages right around that, even with the kind of like weaker field, if you could say it like that. Not that it's weak, but it's more diverse, I guess, with levels of skill. Keiti's sitting at 3 down, puts a pretty good move on this, doesn't get all the way up there. And that's kind of a thing. If you don't get all the way up, then your footing can be a little bit bad. You can be on that upslope and be, forced to stand still and throw way up the hill. Henna's got all the power in the world to get up there. This one's drifting left, but ends up in a great spot.
And that's that top shelf right there that puts you into a potential. Even, do you know if any of the ladies eagled this? I would be interested to know that.
Yeah, I think it's totally possible. I know Evelina had a look. I don't remember if she connected. We can try to pull up the stats. Anniken goes for this like shelf with a turnover if the wind is down. The game plan is if it's windy, then she'll just do a really short shot and make sure she's on the flat. And definitely can get in position for eagle with a move like this. Look at it heading up there.
And there you go. I mean, if you want to make a bid at that, there's your eagle bid right there.
Yep, she's somewhere there in deep C2 with a big highlight putt. She could get that 3. Keiti didn't exactly see where that landed, but we see the green flag, so she's going to be fine. Kristin's now on that sort of slope that I was talking about that makes this difficult, but she's got such a skill set that she can still get a ton of progress up towards the basket with that forehand standstill shot. Perhaps the best in the game at it.
Pulls that a little bit. She had some interesting footing there, but honestly, good shot.
That's fine. That's totally fine. Easy up and down for the bird from there. 3rd from Kristin. She's going to want to just put this close, as she usually does.
That's that Estonian forehand prowess right there.
Yeah.
Just right there, pinned.
Yeah, 9 out of 10 at least. They're going right there by the basket. There we see it from Keiti as well. Catches some edge though there, unfortunately, and rolls away and into a tight spot. She's gonna have some.
It's an interesting putt from right there, but should be definitely a run. There's not danger behind that basket right there. I don't know if that was a bid or not. She gave it some action. That looks to be a layup. Oh, just low for Keiti. Nice birdie there by Anniken.
We did not see any eagles today on this one, unfortunately. 33% birdies though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I think we will see. If the weather stays calm, I think we're going to see an eagle or 2 before this is done, 4 rounds.
I mean, we had some looks right here, and, if there were to be an eagle, it probably would have been from this card or the card before.
Yeah. I know Evelina was in position. I don't remember how far off she was, but this hole is just stunningly beautiful. Par 4 for the FPO, 124 meters downhill with a, beautifully dramatic mountain backdrop. Just incredible peninsula green.
If you got the power, go for the pin. If you don't, lay up to the right. Be careful to fade though. There is OB and water. And if you don't have the power, you're definitely laying up.
Yeah, and if you're OB off the tee shot, mandatory drop zone, which is not really simple. It can be pretty scary from over there.
Yeah, you can easily skip into the water from the drop zone or skip and roll back to out of bounds again from that drop zone.
Yeah, and there's one really pretty good guardian tree that you have to pick, I've seen it catch a lot of people here.
Pretty aggressive play right there from Kristin. She knows she has the power though. Does that hit and stay? I believe that actually rolled. Oh, OB for Kristin.
She was pretty unlucky there. Those trees knocked her down in the water. it's kind of 50-50. If you crash into those trees, well, here we see Henna coming into them as well. This is going to need a bit of luck to punch through. That's kind of right into the heart of those trees, and it does. It does work out okay. She gets a little kick left, and that'll, you know, leave her in position for a very easy birdie. And if she wants to get aggressive, there's an eagle look, but not highly recommended.
Lefty off 12 here. A little flip up and turn, fading out. Does that stay? No, it does not.
Hits that
Unfortunate.
same grouping of trees and trickles down into the OB. Keiti also heading for those trees on the right. Like I said, 50-50, and she threads it through there.
There you go.
Hits a rock, unfortunately, right there on the green, and it rolls to the right. That should have been inside the circle, like for an easy eagle, and instead it hit that rock, and now she's about 18 meters out. She's going to have to hit a big 60-footer if she wants that eagle now.
Drop zone from Kristin. Little wide there.
Yeah. Like I said, not the easiest up and down from that dropper. There is that nice looking birch tree there that you have to get around and see it. You know, catches up on Anniken as well. Yeah, Keiti pitches up, easy birdie.
Little layup there from Henna.
Anniken now trying to save that par.
Not to be. Oh, catches a roll. Unfortunate roll there.
Kristin.
Oh, misses that.
Yeah, very rare air ball from her.
Yeah.
She'd been putting so well, really up to this point, and now not really what you were hoping for. There you go. Making good for the bogey. First real hiccup since the start there on hole 2. Anniken gets it for the double bogey, so bit hard by this beautiful hole 12. Unfortunately, tap in birdie for Keiti. 4 down for the round, so she's keeping Kristin within reach, really. Just 2 strokes back now after Kristin dropping 1 back. There we see the leaderboard. Everyone on our card right up there at the top. The Finn's struggling a little bit. Yeah, if you like live disc golf, check out the Disc Golf Network.
Absolutely. Go subscribe. I got my subscription. I love it. I watch it all the time. I catch myself even when I'm at these tournaments, seeing the disc golf live. I'm still watching DGN, even though it's happening right in front of me.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, though. I mean, you get the whole picture there, the insights as well from the commentary team. Hole 13's a par 4, just 170 meters for the FPO, a little bit uphill off the tee. Then it turns quite sharply from right to left with a triple mando to make. Green is again very small and scary. Downhill, way downhill on the approach. So, you know, you got to be pretty up on your touch game if you want to get it close. Here we see Henna.
Pretty good shot there. There's a bit of a hill there, though. It's kind of, the pin can be blind if you're not high enough on that hill. Keiti catching some early trees. That's going to fade a little bit short left. And OB.
Oh, yeah, those leaves took a lot of speed off of it and made it fade early. She's going to have to head to that drop zone. Or wait, the drop zone may just be for the mando miss. She might have to play it if it didn't cross the mando yet. But let's see. As Kristin puts herself in decent position. Nothing wrong there. There's OB right and left. This is
Oh, getting a little wind lift and turn there. Does that get up to? That's kind of more the position you want to be.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, yeah, getting fist bumps from the whole card. That was a really good shot. Not exactly like a great lefty hole, but she's so good with the angles, you know, and got all the forehand, backhand things you need. So, yeah, as I thought, it's played as a normal OB, and she gets herself up in position, try to attack now on that fourth one. But it's going to be a bogey at best now after.
And you can tell there, you can't see the pin from this camera angle, and I don't believe you can see the pin standing there where she is either.
Nope. No, it's a drop shot. You know, you have to know your game plan, have put in the time on the practice rounds to get a feel for it. It's a blind one.
Kristin, this looks pretty darn good. Does that stay safe? If that stays safe, that's really good. Yes, it does. That's how you play this hole, man. Just filleting the fairways. Looking really good.
Yeah, trying to bounce back, get another birdie after the slip up there on the island hole, or well, it's not really an island, a peninsula.
Anniken trying to go with a turnover there. I think she's pushed that too forward, hit that tree wall on the right.
Quite a bit short on the forehand approach there from Keiti.
Yeah, a bit of an unforced error there from Keiti.
Jump putt approach from Anniken, right on point.
Yep.
Puts it there on bullseye's edge, and Keiti's struggling here on this hole now. This is for that bogey, so that's going to be a double. And she was looking, really good at 4 down, double bogey, pretty inopportune time for that as we move.
Henna with the layup. Obviously, a day one play there. Par is good.
Kristin to get right back on the birdie wagon.
And birdie is even better, right over the cage. Kristin moves to 7 down. Looking amazing on this course. 7 through, what are we, 13?
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
With all those tight greens, with all the water hazards, all the OB everywhere. To be 7 down, that's world class for sure. There we see the double. Henna tapping it in. Happy with the par on this one.
Smart move, smart move. Playing golf.
Hole 14, par 3, uphill 55 meters. Plays like a fair bit more being on that hill, but this is, ace run all day, right? You just want to kind of, it's pretty scary, I guess, in a way, because if you overshoot it too much, you got like a death putt, and you kind of have to lay it up if you're not feeling super confident. If you leave it short, you're gonna see a lot of them roll down.
I mean, in many cases, ace run is the line.
I think it is.
It is how you play the hole.
Yeah, I think that's the ideal thing to do here, because even if you don't hit it, look at that. It was a little high.
Yeah, a little bit sawed off, hits those branches and kicks out OB. So that'll be drop zone for her. Let's see. Oh, and this just kicks perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to see a layup from that one.
Nope. That's a birdie. Drop zone's pretty nice hole design there. It's a 12-meter, about 40-foot putt with a just death drop straight behind. So most players will lay it up. So it's kind of like, one of those holes. It's like most likely a 2 or a 4.
Ooh, a little bit nose up and maybe a bit too stable of a disc. I'm not sure. Maybe angle.
Here we see that drop zone, yeah. If you're feeling froggy, you can give it a go. But early in the tournament, I think it's wise to just put it under the basket, take your 4, move on. Don't let it blow you up too much here.
Absolutely.
That's what we see. Anniken even laying up from 9 meters.
Yeah,
so,
you're going to see a lot of that on this hole, from MPO like, man. You're going to see a lot of guys and women just putting that putter right under the basket, just taking their 3 and walking away.
Yeah, almost kind of diabolical pin placement there, but it makes it a great hole. Even though it's a shorty, you really got to think, what am I going to do here? What am I willing to risk in order to get that reward? Here we are. Another water carry, this time at the par 4, 192 meters for the FPO. Averaging 5.15. What do you think of that?
Wow, maybe just not getting over the water carry first. You know what? This upshot is really hard. If you
It
get
is.
over a lot of the right-hand players, they're fading out early left right there and going OB.
Yeah, there's OB right and left. The road is also OB, so I guess it's just penalty strokes. You know, they can accumulate quick. You can get them on the tee shot or the upshot or both potentially. So I suppose it's causing some damage out there. But beautiful hole, great par 4. Really love this one. I mean, I love them all. This place is amazing. Really, this is perhaps the most beautiful course I've ever seen. I can't think of anything that would take the cake on that. This
Absolutely, absolutely. Norway at its best here, man.
Yeah, West is the best. I mean, I've been to Norway before and I loved it, but it's another level out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, shout out Jostein and the whole club and all the work that they've done putting this together. It's a really, really awesome event.
Yeah, fantastic local organizing committee. So much history, as we kind of mentioned in the front nine, that they've done a lot of high level events. They got some great players on the local club. As we see that drift OB, unfortunately, there's
And
Jostein
there's
right there.
there's Jostein right there. I was just talking about him.
Great man right there. He's Oyvind Jarnes's mentor. You know, who's our TD for this European Championships, and he's got an interesting origin story. Got started into the game as a disc fisher. You know, he was one of those boys out there in the canoe retrieving discs, and
Oh wow.
when he went to return one of the discs, the guy said he could keep it. You know, and here he
Look at
is.
this shot from Kristin. That's that upshot I'm talking about, but this is the way to do it.
Yes. That's, you know,
Still far from the pin, but that's a good upshot.
yeah, looked really good. But now she's got a decision to make.
That's right.
She's having a great round. I mean, there's been some struggles on the back nine, but she's still way under par, and she's gonna have to decide whether she wants to just take the par here, stress-free, or whether she wants to take the chance at going OB there. Forehand out from Henna, doesn't get too far, but she's inbounds. See if she can get up to the basket from here. It's looking like a pretty good shape.
Ooh.
Oh, it was a little early on the fade. Lucky to hit that tree. That was going out.
Yeah, that was going right in the water for one of those young Norwegian boys in the canoes to come pick up.
Yeah, exactly. That's the nice thing. I mean, you know, you do end up with some discs in the water on most rounds, but you get them back. They're out there every day doing work, having a good time as well. Norwegian summer, beautiful lake, crystal clear water there. I mean, you look up on the mountain, there's waterfalls. It's kind of mind-blowing. You feel like you're on a movie set or something all the time you're here in Norway. The views, it's so majestic. The nature's so pure and clean.
Yeah, seeing all the waterfalls just careening out of the sky. It reminds me of Yosemite, honestly. Just the waterfalls coming out of the sky. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's really magnificent and sublime, if you will.
Indeed. Well put.
And there we have the layup. She doesn't want anything to do with that. I think that is a smart move.
Yep. Smart golfing there. 4-day event. She knows she's having a good round, and she just wants to kind of coast it in here, not take any big risks. She's got no pars here on the back up to this point, so add another shade of color here onto that scorecard as she taps in for the par. Just birdies or bogeys. 6 down is solid though.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
As you saw on the leaderboard there, Kristin 3 strokes in front. Henna and Evelyn at 3 down behind her. Hole 16 is a par 3, 76 meters. downhill shot, speed control, touchy one, hazard all the way up to this path that you see. You got to get all the way up, past that. And kind of like best shots are usually something that kind of lands a little short of the basket and skips and slides up there. Another treacherous green. Don't want to go long.
Yeah, one of the shorter holes on the course. After throwing a lot of big drives all day, it's interesting to, and as we see Kristin, just great forehand up there. But I love courses when they put on the Pro Tour, they put a hole like this. Can you throw straight and speed control?
Yep, and plenty of score separation. As you know, there's the hazard and the OB behind, so kind of like it feels like a must get, of course, because the distance is short.
But you're going to see some big numbers on this. There's water right there, and that could have skipped and rolled in the water.
I had a weird counter skip.
Yeah.
Ended up okay, though. She's going to have a chance for the birdie. Keiti's is drifting left pretty early. But it's there on the green. Stay safe. Here she is. And right about this point in the round, the wind started to pick up. Yeah,
it did.
It had been like pretty much dead calm. And then a little breeze picked up. And it would remain throughout the rest of the day, being a little gusty. But they played most of the round in totally ideal conditions. And there she
buckets.
goes.
Interesting run right there, especially with us talking about, being day one and laying up with that water right behind. But smart kind of lofty bid there from Henna.
Yeah, dropped it in.
Dropped it right in there. Almost no chains needed.
That would have been in without chains, yeah. She just kind of like put it into the hoop. Dropped into the bucket, got her birdie.
Oh, wow, great putt there from Anniken as well. Little hillside footing.
She struggled a bit today, but she's had some bangers too. I mean, she's had some sweet highlights. As we see that.
Kristin showing how it's done. Back to 7 down.
Yeah.
Heater.
A lot of ups and downs here on the back nine, but doing work out here. Looking to defend that European title. Unfortunate bogey there from Keiti as she goes back and forth on the green. Kind of surprising, after being fairly close to the basket, but gave it a run and it didn't pan out. Hole 17, incredible optics here on this one. I mean, a little bit controversial from the player's eyes. As a spectator, it's one of the most entertaining and beautiful holes that you'll see. And
Gonna see a lot of discs in the water on this hole as well. A lot of players just blast it long, but when you blast it long, you get into that hazard area. You're kind of just, by doing that, you're almost just saying, I'll take a 4 and get out of here.
Yeah.
Because then you're probably not running that putt.
Yeah, but if you come up short, then, you go to that mandatory drop zone, which is very difficult to get up and down from. And if you leave that short, I mean, then you're in all kinds of trouble.
This looks about like what you want.
It looked really good, but
came up short.
It hit what looked like it might have been the stake, but it could have also just been the ground from the angle I was at. Unfortunately, it did not get up there, and she's going to have to head to that drop zone that I'm talking about, which can be very scary, especially if you're having a great round. You hate to bleed a bunch of strokes here at the end.
Henna with that long play, I believe that's hazard.
Yeah, it is.
Anniken lefty line here.
This is looking pretty good, but there was a headwind, and it kept it, gave it a little more glide, and pushed it long into that OB, or that hazard. Yeah, so she'll play it from there with a 1-stroke penalty. Almost certain layup there for bogey.
Keiti, that shot's looking great.
She's the only one able to keep it clean.
Sits in the fairway there, but you're not running that.
No. Layup all day.
It'll be so interesting to see on day 4, though, coming down the stretch here. If someone really needs some strokes or something, you land right there,
Yeah.
Some crazy putts coming. Forehand from that drop zone. It's pretty scary, but Kristin's a pro.
Yeah, nicely done. Drops it in soft. Never a doubt. Up there on the green. In good position to save the boat.
Still a little bit more than you would want, though, right there. But that water right behind, it's scary. Especially with the wind picking up right here. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, definitely trying to lay it up, but maybe a little bit timid.
Yeah,
What would you say? What do you
not
think?
the layup you're looking for.
On this one, yeah, you want it close as you can.
I don't know if the wind, like, maybe there was a tailwind that just kind of dropped that out of her hand or something, but it looked to be just a bit of a misrelease.
It was, you know, a little bit gusty, as I mentioned, right? Just picked up right here at this very end of this round, but I still think she probably should have done a little better. Now she's got a bit of a tester, and the wind
and
lifts that one up.
That's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. On this hole, that is what happens.
Yeah, it's a nervy putt, you know, seeing all that water behind.
She wishes she had that one again. Or she wishes she had that layup again.
Yeah, both those strokes, just everything went wrong.
But Kristin getting the wind read, slamming it in. Smart 4 to take. A smart 4 to take right there.
Yeah, 4's not too bad on this one. It can easily get out of hand. I've heard some real horror stories from the locals about times when this just went all wrong, and yeah, it's easy to imagine. You know, a green like that, anything can happen.
Wind starts picking up, you get the yips on your putts, and then all of a sudden you take an 8.
Yeah.
Discussing Keiti's OB right here. She's gonna putt from the rocks there. Unfortunate double there after having the best drive of the group. You're gonna see a lot of these
Retriever sticks.
retriever sticks. I wasn't sure what to call them.
Yeah.
You're gonna see a lot of those suction cup retriever sticks this weekend, that's for sure.
That's a must-have on this course, you know.
I wish I had one. When I was playing practice rounds with the MDG crew, I wish I had one of those things.
It's a very wise investment on a course like this, you know. I mean, like I said, the boys are out there fishing. You're going to get it back, but if you want to have it for that round and you want to keep your feet dry, you got to get that stick. Hole 18, what a great finishing hole. This is a new one on the property. This is pretty special. They built up a big platform tee. You drive off into this football stadium with the whole crowd there in front of the clubhouse. You got these 3 little inlets where you can kind of choose to land it if you're not going to attack it.
Yeah, interesting shaped green. It almost reminds me of like the top of a castle wall, if you will.
Yeah.
How it just kind of goes in and out like that. The whole right side is safe, but the left side's a little bit forgiving. Kristin with the forehand. This looks good.
Yep.
That's inbounds.
Smartly played. She wasn't going for too much there. She's got a game plan. She's trying to get the birdie.
I mean, she's sitting at 6 down. That's a great score. You don't want to mess that up right now. Henna pulling that wide. Is it gonna... Oh.
Oh, unfortunate, those metal barriers.
A foot higher, that was inbounds.
Yeah. Rejected by the crowd control barriers, I guess they are.
Next one from Hungary.
Oh, wow.
That's just pretty off, right into the middle of the football field there. Not what she was hoping for. And that's heading to the drop zone. It is possible to get up and down for the par from the drop zone. It's about 100 meters.
Also pulling that one right for Keiti.
From Reykjavik, Iceland.
Sorry for the background announcers there. Unavoidable.
Nice shot there from the drop zone.
Yep. This is not just the open divisions playing for a European title. We got the juniors going on at the same time.
That's
which
correct.
is also really exciting to see all those tons of young talent in Europe, you know, and from all the countries. And so they're battling it out this week as well to see who's going to be your European junior champion. It's exciting to follow those storylines as well. See some really exciting, really talented young folks. As we see Keiti there.
Unfortunate 17 and 18 for Keiti. She had a really good round going and then tough last 2 holes. I think you're going to see that with a lot of players. 17, if you can go even par, 17, 18 for all 4 rounds of this tournament, that is a lot of the strokes on the field.
Yeah, you'll definitely take that. And that's like, this course will test your mettle. It's like you're gonna get punished. You're gonna get some bad breaks. You're gonna get some big scores. It's just you got to stay focused and stay in the moment and just keep executing the shot. You can't let it overwhelm you. And these are pretty long rounds too. This round clocked in at over 3.5 hours. So you're out there for a while. You got to keep your concentration, keep focused, get a snack or two, stay hydrated. This course is an adventure. Every hole is its own little adventure, but as a collective course, it's a proper adventure. You're getting great nature hike type experience, but you're playing some serious disc golf, and you gotta really prepare for a lot of things that are gonna happen.
Yeah, long walks between holes.
Yep.
I mean, you don't get to see it here on the coverage, but unfortunate roll there.
Lucky.
Henna.
It's the nubs, rolls away. Now a tester coming back.
Oh,
And confidence is shaken. Low there. We didn't talk about it, but Kristin, she gave it a kind of a soft run. She's gonna have an easy par.
kind of give that a bit actually.
Yeah, but she's gonna be happy with a par here now. With the wind kind of picked up a little bit and having so many birdies, sitting at 6 down. So
Double for Henna to finish. 1 down, not a bad round though.
and this is a 4-round event. Not sure if we mentioned that yet, but
Yep.
we're only a quarter of the way through this. You gotta pace yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't win it. Win it on the first day. You can certainly lose it. You can certainly shoot yourself way out of it, but that's what they don't want to do. That's what experienced players
That's right.
know how to avoid. And here we see the leaderboard and the lead card for tomorrow. Kristin Lätt, Henna Blomroos, Tinja Väisänen, solid. Maria Elde Christianadora from Iceland. So
Okay.
got a pretty interesting lead card. It's going to be nice to get some new faces out there, some players we haven't seen too much of this season at least.
Super excited for the rest of the tournament. See what happens tomorrow. Let's hope the weather holds up. See what, the wind could maybe make these players do something different. We'll see.
Yeah, we are expecting some weather to come in, but tomorrow looks pretty good. Join the family, like, subscribe, do all those things that you got to do to help us keep this thing growing. This is Europe's Disc Golf Hub. MDG Media working hard to bring you this coverage. We hope you love it.
Thank you guys. MDG Media.